solutions are made available to all. We also agree that we would use the digital channels like the radios, the TVs, the community information centers, and the others to make information and to make the solutions available to all. We agree to use the agricultural extension agents. These are agents in the district assemblies. These are agents in the district assemblies who take information across the local farmers. We will make good use of these people. We will also make use of the trade associations like TUC and then the others. When there is a solution, when there is a product, we will ensure that these trade associations carry the information, carry the solutions across to ensure that everyone gets to know about these products. Our second question is to develop community-funded financial literacy approach that would address record keeping, loan processes, insurance claims, and trials.
So should we discuss one across and then go to two? I think so that if we say that we are looking at designing a strategy, we'll look at how do we all want to look at that strategy. So just quickly, let's go to the other groups. If you have anything that they have already said, please let's jump it. So you can say we also have this, but I'm jumping, and then you go to it. So group 3, question 1. Access Bank all the way.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm also with Access Bank. And addressing the question 1, national strategy creation. Okay, so we also have here engagement with the people. So it's targeting engagement at the grassroots. So market groups, market women associations, cooperatives. That is one we can create awareness, especially when we go to them at their places of organization. It's better to go to them than to invite them to you, because going to them gives them the feeling of them having leverage and they having some kind of relevance enough to draw you out. So that engagement is important. And then advertisement, which you mentioned during the TV, so I want to also add on that. And then financial literacy. So engaging my team members, we came to understand that each institution that here has some sort of product or initiative that is geared towards solving this particular issue. But then putting it out there has been the situation, has been the problem. The idea of making it widely known is what we are always struggling with. So financial literacy is something that we can use to bridge that gap, where we tell the people exactly what we have. Because some people have issues and they don't know that the solutions for that issues are even sitting somewhere on a shelf waiting for them to discover. So financial literacy will help with that. Thank you.
Okay, so group 3. Now group 3 are answering a completely different sets of questions. So we'll come to group 1, sorry. So we'll come to them later. So we'll come back to group 2. And so I think that from the presentations that have been made, one of the things that I'm hearing is tell government or government should do something. If you are giving your report to us, some specificity would be useful. Because if I'm government and bring it to me, who would I use to work on it? So please give us, we want you to give us the guidance so that by the time we are taking it to that level, we know exactly who we are engaging to be able to achieve that. Group 2, are you writing names of cooperatives?
Yes, we are.
Okay. All right. So group 2, question 2.
Our question 2 is, to develop community grounded financial literacy strategies that address record keeping, loan processes, insurance claims, and trust issues, helping farmers and informal workers participate more fully and responsibly. So, to address this question, we first of all had to understand what brings about distress among farmers, what prevents them from taking loan facilities, what prevents them from not doing this basic record keeping, bookkeeping, and then the others. And then we agreed that first of all, we need to do a segmentation of the population. So farmers is a broad category, but what are the people that make up the farmers? The women, the men, the age group, because the needs of each of these people is different. So first of all, we do this segmentation. Also, we agreed to use the agency banking model. The agency banking model is a process where we use mobile money vendors. These days, mobile money vendors are everywhere. So once someone is a mobile money vendor, the bank equips the person with the necessary education and training, and then the person represents the bank in that locality. So when that person is there, the person is able to do withdrawals, the person is able to take credits, the person is able to sign on customers for the bank. So when the people know this, they know that though the bank is not here, physically, we have mobile money that is there, serving as the bank, giving them that sort of encouragement and support. We also agreed to use the cash collection system for all. The cash collection system is a process where we have individuals who go around, and then take money from these people, representing the bank. Sorry, that's something we do as a salesman. So he's looking at me, that's what my mom will. So the cash collectors will go around, they'll take the money. As they take the money, they are recording. So maybe the farmer doesn't even know that I need to record. But the collector puts the money and then records for you, and then you sign. Indirectly, you are knowing that once you do something in the transaction, in the form of the transaction, you need to sign for it. You need to keep a record of that to know what is happening in your business. We also agreed to do the basic financial literacy. Basic financial literacy is educating people on savings, educating them on bookkeeping, educating them on investments, all those little things that we think we know but are not practicing. We agree that this will be something that we will do intensively to make sure that these people develop their trust and are able to access the loans and the financial solutions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's the So, group 3 can highlight the key points.
To take question 2, I think my colleague with group 2 has said quite a lot. And to just add on to that, to the agency banking, we also know that the insurance companies who are adhering to these people vendors to extend insurance services in the book areas. So that's something that we can also educate our farmers and market women and traders on to also buy into. Thank you.
So, third question for...
Okay. Question 3 is to discuss how multi-stakeholder collaboration would look like. So to address this question, we try to understand what a multi-stakeholder collaboration We agreed to look at who coordinates what to avoid an overlap, what roles will CSOs perform, what roles banks perform, how do we describe these processes and then progress. So we agreed to use the telcos. We agreed to use the financial institutions like the banks, the fintechs. We agreed to use government institutions like the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Agri, Ministry of Trade, etc. We also agreed to development partners like MasterCard, Oscar, GIZ, So basically, this is how we done it. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think she
So taking question 3, with the multi-stakeholder collaboration, we have the government, financial institutions, CSOs, and regular partners. We are thinking that to make it work better, we would rather look at their regulators, so like the BOG, SEC, NIC, and then get them to come together and form some sort of network. That way, when they put out a call, it's going across all industries. So it's going to the insurance people, it's going to the banks, it's going to anybody that will be in that sort of network. Right. And then the person that will be able to lead the champion could be the Ministry of Finance. But we're already aware that they have these programs from time to time. So they can put the call out whenever this is being organized, and then the institution then sign off. And how to avoid duplication and ensure accountability. In here, we are making sure that the institutions or organizations being brought on board have their work cut out for them, define a certain industry so that when you are coming on board to present finance product or assets to the community, it's not something that is just here and there, like OBI. It has to be specific to what you do, so that the people know the value that are bringing on board.
Thank you.
Question 4. How can policies better support year-round income security and ensure, how can policies better support year-round income security and social protection for farmers and traders? And so, over here we look at policies that would give farmers an all-year, all-round facility. Okay. So we agreed to use an emergency credit line in the case where when a farmer or a trader needs to access a loan facility immediately in the course of an emergency, there should be a short code. There should be something that the farmer will do, and then the farmer will get instant form of credit to support this of the business. We also looked at group savings. Group savings in this essence means that a group of 5 people of 10 can come together and save, and then lend to a group members to support themselves in the case of an emergency. We also said we're going to use digital systems for distribution. Digital system for distribution to mean, in fact, the banks already doing that. These days, if you want to access a loan, you don't need to go through the lengthy process. There is a digital system where you can, there is a short code for access bank. There's a short code you can use to do all things. We also said we're going to ensure that there is subsidized insurance premium. When there is subsidized insurance premium, people know that when there is subsidized insurance premium, people are encouraged to join an insurance scheme. If you join an insurance scheme and you know that there is a case of an emergency, there is the rest of. But if you find yourself wanting, you know that once you've been able to join the insurance, you will get the kind of support you need to support your business. We also say that easy access to. Okay, so that's the first financial freedom. Okay, easy access to loan facilities. Thank you. Sorry.
So question 4.
Question 4. Adding on to what you said, it's easy access to loan facilities. About, I think we are doing it now, but we can also look at cash flow. So, like we discussed during the initial stages of this workshop, right? Most of them are into using their mobile more. So, taking mobile bank statements allows them to be able to access these financial support that they need. And then, secondly, I think we are all aware of the new program. It's something that is going on and has been very beneficial to the running bodies. I think we can also extend that to smallholder farmers in seasons where they are out of production. So that doesn't look like when that is happening, you will have no support when you need to fall back on. That's something that can also benefit them a bit. Right. And I think that's the two for us.
Thank you. So we'll go to the last question for both group 2 and group 3.
Question 5. What innovative mechanism can address mental remote?
Question 5. How can I know that? It's not like that. Question 5. What innovative mechanism can address collateral constraints and trust gaps faced by informal practice? So, we are saying that no collateral, no trust. That's the basic for this. That's how we answer this question. No collateral, no trust. So we are saying we will use group guarantees. So if you're able to form a group and practice a group savings, once you approach a bank, the group is able to guarantee for the members. Again, at Access Bank, we do that. Once it's a group savings and you come to us, we use the group and then the executives of the group to guarantee for the members and then give you a loan facility. We also see a warehouse receipt system. So for the farmers, when you harvest your products, and then there is a warehouse that everyone takes their goods to, those who operate the warehouse, those who are the managers, thank you, they know the people whose produce are there. So once there is an emergency, they know that, okay, Amma needs money at the moment. Amma has goods. If we're able to raise some funds for Amma, even if Amma is not able to pay at the moment, we can use the goods for collateral to ensure that Amma receives the facility she needs. We also mentioned GESAL. I don't know most of us know GESAL already. GESAL gives subsidized loans and ensure that people, though they receive the loans, they receive it at a very subsidized rate. So these are the three mechanisms we mentioned to address question 5. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so for question 5, we're also thinking of processing. So with the way we have wastage of produce in the expired compounds, when we have farmers harvesting more than they can actually sell or save or store, if we had processing factories or plants in place to help them add value to the product, to produce that they've grown. That would also help, and then it would reduce the strain financially on them. The bit about trust, we want to look at that in terms of the insurance. So I feel like even though most people know of insurance, they don't know of claims. So they don't hear of people actually claiming anything. So this idea out there that if we can also popularize that bit of it, make noise on it about how people are claiming, if we can get success stories on that to also share on television nationally, right? That would boost trust in insurance, because insurance has generally been on the bad side, I believe, for most Ghanaians. Right? And then she touched on the group guarantees and the storage, and once again, cash flow leverage.
Thank you. So group 2 and group 3 have the same set of questions, and that's why we have to do it this way. So group 1.
But just to tell group 3 that they know about claims. The only complaint they have is that when it's time to collect the premiums, you are quick on them. But when they want to do the claims, then you start dragging your feet. Go and sign this, go and bring this. You are not the right person, your father is dead, and things like that. Let's not discuss it. I just want to have a comment.
Okay, so how important on the structural gap? And the gap is that they are unable to have access to financial products, whether a private one or that of company. So one of the recommendations is that there should be a redesign of the financial products to reflect the informality. So, for example, group loans, for example, which is already being done, I think that it should be there, because we know that it's just the cooperatives that are running this, but other financial institutions like the rural banks, community banks, the microfinance and all that should also adopt this group loans. And then also, we are saying that the rural and community banks should go back to their markets. They are competing with the commercial banks. So yes, they have to show it. They are chasing salary workers, giving salary loans. Let's leave that for the commercial banks, like Access and FNB and all those people. Go back to the people who need 1,000 cedis to buy some few stock, sell same day, and make 200 cedis profit. They will pay back same day, they will buy another use, and I think it should be effective. And then finally, we are recommending that we should have the information structure regarding credit reference. We know that it's not all the microfinance and the microcredits that use the credit referencing system. And it's because of cost, because the credit unions charge per search. So the idea is that when you are going to give a loan to someone, you have to do a background check on the person's credibility before you advance the loan. And if it is expensive to do that, what they do is that they pass the cost on to the customer, which makes the cost of credit more expensive. So what we are saying is that the government should step in and then try to subsidize the cost of credit referencing, so that there will be confidence. They will be confident in going back. This will help to reduce the non-performing loans and also grant the people access, because sometimes they look at you by face and tell you, the way I see this person's order, he may not pay back the loan. I won't pay you. But it's not backed by data. Okay, so they should do more scientific stuff. I think Fido does that very well. They have built a credit history over time. based on your experience. And I think the law, the credit referencing law mandates the mobile lenders like the express loan, quick loan, to submit information or data to the credit reference bureau for them to have access so that they can when accessing is expensive. So let's reduce that, let more people get access so that they can advance their loan confidently and then they are able to get access to improve their trade. Thank you very much.
So, in our report conversion, which is so the information that is more like many of the informal workers are unaware of some specific financial products. They do not know that some of the products do exist. Yeah, so the insurance, the pension, or they don't even know that you can even insure their crops. So please, how to bridge that gap is to improve and enhance localized financial literacy programs using both traditional and non-traditional mediums such as the TV, the radio stations, the information centers, associations and meetings. So let's say the association of farmers, when they are having their meetings, they can as well chip it inside and educate the farmers on some of the pensions and the insurance schemes. And then they should leverage technology to create awareness in financial products. Most of the informal sector workers actually have social media that they use to promote their crops and all of that. Some of them, not all. So those who have the technical know-how on that can actually educate their peers on how to go about it or how to use the social media for all of that.
Thank you very much. For question 3, it's about trust gaps. And we identified a lot. I'll just touch on 3. The first one we recommended is engagement. We believe that when we feature the processes of the products we are giving the informal sector is communicated a lot, trust issues will be resolved. Constant engagement through extension programs when it comes to the rural farmers, giving programs like financial literacy, advisory roles. We believe that when we do those engagements, trust issues, trust will be enhanced. The second point we want to touch on is transparency. And some of them feel there are hidden charges, and like Rob just said, insurance companies are quick to change, but they are slow to pay. So when you make the terms and processes clear from that from the beginning and make it transparent to them, each trust will be enhanced. And then we probably let me see the last one. We had more points, but then the last one, bureaucracy, the delays, the unnecessary delays cause trust issues, and we believe if all parties communication system processes are followed thoroughly, so assuming I tell you that I'll give you facility in 2 weeks, and then I follow through with that, I trust you and you also trust me. Or if the other way around, I'm a bank and I said provide me with your details, we expect that you give us what is needed of you. When both parties are clear on timelines and they are being adhered to, trust will be enhanced. Thank you.
Question 4. We also identify infrastructure gap. Sometimes you go to them and they will tell you there's a network problem, no agent to attend to you, and sometimes they will see when the power is off. So we are recommending that at least if they cannot pay for their agents, they should train the association or the union's leaders for them to deal with the members that are engaging them. also they should create awareness. If there's a challenge, don't sit there for time to come, who can you are telling them, so you come to them. These are the challenges we are having, so that together we all solve it. Number two, we also identify data gaps. Some of the union in informal trading or activities, we don't have pay slips. You come to the sector, you will find it difficult to find a credit history of most of the workers, and no formal records. Sometimes it's a narrative if they won't lose, and then some of the how do you call the insurance, you see them narrating something for you, it's not that. So what we want them to do here is still they can educate the members or the workers about keeping at least basic booking, keeping records here. If you want to work with us, you can take that for yourself, and then you train our members on how to keep records, at least basic. Then also at that point, you can also use the union leaders. You know, most of the groups, as they are members even than the president. Yes, when the leaders tell them something, they listen to them than the outsiders. So you can use them. And chairman say, one recommendation too is they can be attending the union's general meetings. And when we have the collabo, we can invite them to our meetings. They come and then they tell us what is right to do. And then they should also create a very good relationship between the organization and then the companies. Yeah, thank you.
Question 5.
Okay, so for question 5, we looked at policy and regulatory gaps, looking at it from the collateral requirements, which is believed to exclude many with limited incentives for rural expansion. We came up with 3 points. The first one is to accept alternative collateral for women, not just the title deeds or the buildings and very huge things as collateral, but simple alternatives like savings records to indicate that they've been generous with their savings, and so it's something to fall on. If they have livestock, that can be accepted. Group guarantees, if they belong to groups that are willing to stand in for them. Mobile money history also, picking their mobile money accounts, that should be able to work out for them. Of course, they should not be the ones who take their mobile money loans and they don't pay. And when you want to send them money, they will tell you, it's going to give you a different number. You know, those who are very faithful in the payment of their loans and paying it at the right time as well. The second one is also to promote women's group lending, like the SUSU groups. We believe that the SUSU groups also promote peer accountability and easy access for the other women in the group to stand in for them. And so that can be used as well. With the way the SUSU group is run, such that they contribute and maybe at the end of the month, one person takes all the money. And so when somebody tends to take the money and the person has a loan to pay, that's a guarantee for them to use as payment for the loan. And the last one is the condition, which is male guarantors as a condition for loans for women. They should have male guarantors, and we thought that that is quite gender discriminatory. It will be difficult for, let's say, a husband to guarantee a loan for the wife. And so we should not necessarily have that as a condition, but then all the other alternatives can also be looked at. If there's a relative who is willing and is qualified and is not a male, that opportunity should be given, and that condition of having a male guarantor should be rolled out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's clap for ourselves. I think it's been a very productive one. We've come to the final moment of the dialogue, and I yield to Peasant to take us home.
Thank you very much. I think we are at the beginning of the end. And I just want to thank you all for the participation and for everything that we discussed. What we're going to do from here is that we are going to put together what you have told us. But before we put it together, let me ask.
Once the money is paid, we have come other events, in the center of journalists, and there are also newspapers and PAs.
Okay, then, do you feel that your interests have been discussed? Why you are afraid to give us the bankers? The bankers, do you think that your interests have been addressed in the sense that we feel that you've been the impediment to the informal sector getting access to loans? So you had reasons for that. But in this dialogue, do you feel that you have put up your reasons for hesitation? And do you think you have solutions? I feel Access has been the one who's been talking throughout. So I wish another bank would tell us something.
ADB is here.
ADB.
Okay, so in the morning, one day she was seated here, just before we went on the beach. She, in fact, made a point for us that KYC is necessary.
KYC?
Yes.
Know your customer.
No, it's very important. So, in as much as we want to satisfy that sector, we want to follow all those due diligence. We wouldn't do it in the complex manner. We will not do it in the complicated, that's what we say, we'll cast the bureaucracy and all that. But at the end of the day, what we want is your KYC, we want it correct as appropriate as possible. So we don't cut down on the specifics you need, but then we do it in a friendly manner, in the language you understand, we will engage you better. That's what I am taking home. But then what we want from you is KYC, we insist on that, more friendly.
KYC is Kintampo Youngsters Bank.
Thank you. So, I think most of the bank's customers don't know that there is something called the credit bureau. So please, let's tell the people we can tell that there is something we call a credit bureau. So if you take a loan from Access Bank and you don't pay Access Bank and you go to Fidelity Bank, I promise you, Fidelity will not give you. Because BOG has made the system in a way that Fidelity Bank will know that you owe Access Bank and they won't give you the money. It means that you are not credit worthy. So please, most of you don't know that it's because of the loan you haven't paid at Access Bank. That's why Fidelity is not giving you. And you pay Fidelity to them about some more money. It's not like that.
So even the mobile.
So tell them that you are owing. Because in other places, and I think we will get there very soon. In other places, you can sit in your house and you look at your credit score.
Yes.
And if you see your credit score, you know that you can never get any loan from anywhere. So you don't even try. So from time to time, you look at your credit score. And it's as little as, in the UK, it's as little as you are paying your bills late. That alone starts affecting your credit score. And the credit score starts going down. If you've been involved in an accident and you don't report and you get to know all those things, anything that will sound credibility on your credibility, then is a challenge. Any challenge in the way. Now the insurance rules. Any rep?
So my takeaway would be two. First of all, I think
The microphone is more friendly to Prof than me. I think he's getting used to me. Yes. So, two things. One, we realize that you have some form of setbacks in terms of claims. So we need to find a way to make it a seamless platform for you to have your claims. And we've made a lot of efforts, and now we've digitized a lot of the claim process. So it is only, I would say, a company who doesn't want to flourish that would jeopardize with claim process. Also, we've also realized that you gave us feedback of a cancelable and cumbersome terms and conditions. So we also digitizing that and we simplify it now.
so we want you to be rest assured that we want you to be rest assured that see what I'm saying?
So we want you to be rest assured that we are indeed listening and we are evolving. And so be rest assured again that the ecosystem will definitely do things that make the process seamless.
Thank you very much. The last group are the pensions. They have all disappeared. Brilliant. So that means we can. But it would have been very, very useful to know. Yes, okay. So insurance is now building in pensions. And I think that we've had some of the discussions. I basically did this to be sure that no voice is left unheard. One thing that the keynote speaker said that I like is that we are building a Ghana that includes all Ghanaians. I wrote it down here, and I really love that. And so the informal sector must be included. When I heard the Peru forum, I thought that it was for big shots. This is our forum for the Buja, for the Kiafo, and for those who are at the lowest level. But I pray that one day, these informal sector workers would move and show the government the way to improve our economy. On this note, I just want to say a big thank you to Star Ghana Foundation for sponsoring this dialogue. They give us the money from Hewlett Foundation to be able to conduct all the research that we have done that has fed into this final dialogue. We also want to thank all of you who are represented here. We thank the Deputy Chief of Staff, Nana Oye Bambuhadu, for coming to give us that inspiring speech. There are many things she mentioned that I never knew until I came to this meeting. I also want to thank the Trade Ministry, the Ministry of Finance, the Bank of Ghana, and everybody here who has made contributions to make today's program a success. Worth mentioning is the CSJ team, particularly led by Priska, for the indefatigable and, I don't know, ubiquitous application of herself to this work and getting us to where we have reached today. There are many other members of the CSJ who I cannot mention, like my big man sitting there, who organize all the media things and everything about capturing these and producing a live presentation. And then our MC, excellent, wonderful, calm. I wish when I grow up I'll be like him, so that I'll be calm and zen and be able to engage everybody to make sure that we have a very fluid session. And my final thanks go to the Almighty God who made all these possible. In Him we live, we move, and have our being. Without Him, we are nothing. So I just pray that as you go back, God will guide you home safely, and we would have opportunity to take what you told us forward and to write the report, and then you would hear us engaging some of you in the advocacy work to make sure that our voices are not only heard in this microphone, but that everybody will hear about what we intend to achieve. And 5 years down the line, when we are measuring the impact, we shall all gather here again or somewhere as nice as this and say, we started somewhere, we have reached this far. Thank you all very much and have a lovely rest of the day.
Peasant.